And we are live. All right. What's
What's
up,
good,
fam?
everybody?
Yeah, what's up, fam? What's up, team? What's good? What's the haps? Good to see everybody again. Let's
We are
see.
back.
Yeah, we got a little audience gathering already. It is good to be back. I am Brian, and
I'm just
you may
here.
have noticed this is Jax. Yeah.
I am Jax. What's up, guys?
Yeah, we're looking. I'm looking clean cut. I am not clean. I just crawled out from underneath the house. For
You're
anyone
right.
who follows along on Twitter, there is a leak happening as we speak underneath my house, and so I turned the water off. It took me a minute. I got kind of busted up, like trying
Oh
to
my
turn the water
gosh.
off. Yeah, like it like snapped, like when I was trying to cut the water off, and I like
Oh,
hit the concrete a couple times.
ouch.
Yeah, let's get some stuff going. Can't wait to make this laugh. There it is.
Oh my.
All right, ladies and gents. Forgive me if my voice is just now coming back. I haven't had a voice for several days, or not much of one. It's a little raspy right now, but we'll just call it, brooding. And
Brooding. We'll go
yeah,
with it.
we'll go with that. So here we are. We're back, ladies and gents, and we are back. And
Long awaited.
the long-awaited Raquel Pennington testimony. For those who don't know who Raquel Pennington is, shame on you. I'm just kidding. She is she's not really anybody but Amber Heard's friend, and that's fine. That's no big deal. But she was also like her, I guess, her top witness, key witness. Raquel, maybe Whitney. I don't know.
I don't know.
So what we have here is we're going to be doing this in 3 parts. This deposition is from June of 2016. And let me start starring some stuff. It's from June of 2016. Raquel actually set for a deposition before Amber did.
Yep.
A couple months, actually. So they got Raquel pretty quick. This is just a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks after the allegations went public in May of 2016. And it's very interesting. It's interesting. I wish I had the entirety of her, the recent one, the one that they showed in Virginia, because it is night and day. In Virginia, she's like got the waterworks going and everything else, and here she seems very, not to sound insulting, but very like clueless, very kind of, it's almost like a vapid.
She seems annoyed, I think, that she's
Yeah,
having to do it. Yeah.
there's some annoyance in there, but there's times when she gets like, and I'm not giving anything away, but she gets nervous. I don't think Raquel is very comfortable lying as much as Amber is. I think it actually, she's not good at it, and so she's not comfortable doing it. And there are moments in here where you can tell that she kind of has the truth. She could say the truth, and she stops herself very shy of it because it would be incriminating. So she gets this very like, oh, little old me, I don't know. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And I think there is some willful ignorance that's being played here. In terms of trying to protect Amber, because she knows if she keeps saying more, it goes against Amber. So she tries to, she's trying to follow the script that she was, I think, given before attending this thing. And so that's how that works. We're going to go through this in 3 parts. It is about 3 hours. For anyone wondering, it was about a 6-hour deposition, but Raquel's was spread out over 2 days. And for some reason, they had a court reporter, typing the whole thing up both days, but they only did video recording of the first day. So it's about 3 hours, got about an hour-long chunks with some natural breaks in there. So today is like an hour and 8. The next one's like 52 minutes, and then the last one's roughly an hour. And we'll do it in 3 parts. We can have conversation, go over it. Should be a good time. And I'll do what we always do, which is like kind of pause intermittently and have conversation and give some context.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody. I just want to say good to see everyone. Before we get started, I'm going to star a couple of these, get going, and then we'll roll right into it. We've got about 1,200 peeps in here right now, which is nice. Thanks for showing up on this Sunday afternoon. We really appreciate it. It's a
weekend number.
Yeah, it's a good Sunday number. It's cold as all get outside, and the World Cup started today. So yeah. let's see. La Serrano, thank you very much for that. Rachel, good to see you back again, Rachel. Hey, Brian and Jax, thanks for getting this out. Hey, no problem.
Absolutely.
I know that we act like super over it and tired. It's kind of because we are a little bit.
Yeah.
But this
can't lie, like it's very draining.
This is something that we said we wanted to get out, and I actually do enjoy doing these lives and getting to kind of talk and everything with the community. I long for the days that I can, or I guess I look forward to the days that I can do a live and it be about something else and we can chat about anything else and whatever, and hopefully people will show up for that too. The USA will never beat the English. Sorry, Brian. Maxwell, I hate how right you are.
Oh man,
so right. I'm gonna click this one and we'll get going. Hi, Maiden. Hooray, I finally made it to a live. So excited. Is this the first one? Great.
Pumped to have you here.
Yeah,
welcome.
Pumped to have you. Life's been very bleak. My brother passed away almost a month ago. It's very common to see you two live. Hi, I'm so sorry for that.
Very sorry to hear that.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I cannot imagine what that's like. I have two brothers myself, and I don't know what I'd do without them. I have a twin brother.
I got one too.
Yeah, so I have an older brother and a twin, and I don't know what I'd do without either of them. So
that's horrible.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that. We hope that you can find some distraction and take some mental peace today and just focus on this today. And we really appreciate you being here. Okay. Any others? I'll star real quick, run through them. Janice, thank you both. Thank you, Janice. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone showing up on this Sunday. We're almost up to 1,500 and we'll get rolling. Christina, hi, Brian and Jax. You guys rock, live from the UK. Kind of late
over. Christina, thank you.
Yes, you rock. Kind of late over there, so we appreciate you staying up.
Yeah, I think it's like 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna load this video file. I didn't have to mute any parts. There's no phone numbers, anything in here. There is an address that I kept in because shame on
the
them
Eastern Building.
It is, yeah, and it's annoying to hear her say that's her address. All right, let's check the volume, check the stats. Let's make sure it's flowing pretty well. Let me know if I'm laggy. I will turn my mic and camera off so I can pop some cough drops.
Okay.
And
off we go.
Off we go. Stop camera.
Good afternoon. This is the recorded video deposition of Raquel Rose Pennington in the matter of petitioner Amber Laura Depp versus respondent John Christopher Depp. Taken on behalf of the respondent, this deposition is taking place at 2049 Century Park East, Los Angeles, California, on June 16, 2016, at approximately 2:27 p.m. My name is Stan Beverly. I'm the videographer with U.S. Legal Support, located at 11845 West Olympic Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. Video and audio recording will be taking place unless all counsel has agreed to go off the record. Would all present please identify themselves, beginning with the witness.
Raquel Pennington.
Jonathan Pakravan, attorney for the witness.
Samantha Spector, attorney for petitioner Amber Laura Depp, and Joseph Coney, also co-counsel.
Samantha Klein, Wasser, Cooperman, and Mandels on behalf of respondent Johnny Depp.
Blair Burke and Hans Allhoff on behalf of Johnny Depp.
The certified co-reporter is Pam Felton. Would you please swear in the witness?
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly state the testimony you're about to give in this deposition will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Pennington.
Hello.
I'm Blair Burke, and I'm going to be asking you some questions. I represent Johnny Depp. First, before we get into the formalities, I would love to call you by the name that you prefer. Would it be Miss Pennington? Would it be Rocky? Would it be Raquel? You tell me, and I will refer to you how you wish to be
Raquel.
Okay, Raquel.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Raquel, I'm going to read some things that we in this world apparently do at the beginning of these question and answer sessions, and we'll go through them and I'll ask you if you understand, okay? This proceeding in which you are about to give testimony is known as a deposition, okay? Our purpose in taking your deposition is to obtain facts and information within your knowledge related to matters involved in this lawsuit or proceeding. We do not seek to trick or to trap you, okay? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. We also don't wish to cause you discomfort. So if you're uncomfortable at any time or need a break, you tell me, okay?
Okay.
And we'll stop. Okay. The person that's doing the transcribing is the court reporter, the shorthand reporter, and we obviously have a videographer. And you've been placed under oath. I'm going to ask you some questions, and all I ask is that you answer those questions fully and truthfully, okay? And if there's anything you feel you haven't said in answer to my questions, you can always let me know, and I will let you talk as much as you want, okay? Okay. I'm going to ask you not to guess, okay, or speculate. I want you to just answer questions about what you know or what you believe is the case, or what your understanding is.
Okay.
Is that fair? We request your best present recollection of the facts and events with which I'll ask you questions. We'll presume that whatever you testify to today is your best present recollection and not a guess. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Although this deposition is being held in the informality of these law offices, these lovely law offices, this deposition does not have the solemnity of a courtroom, right? It's not as formal as getting on a stand and the judge being there. Since you're under oath, your testimony here today, though, will have the same force and effect and be subject to the same penalties as if you were testifying in a courtroom. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Among such penalties to which you are subject is the penalty of perjury. Do you know what perjury is?
Yes.
Okay. Perjury is defined as willfully and contrary to an oath administered, stating as true a material fact which one knows to be false. Perjury is a crime. The penalties for perjury are set forth in the penal code, but those are basically the elements. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Everything said during your deposition, Raquel, will be taken down and transcribed by the court reporter. Every question we ask, every answer or comment you give, everything said by any of the attorneys here, all will be duly transcribed. It is therefore vital that if any time you don't hear me, don't understand what I'm asking, you tell us at once, okay? You stop things. You don't let it go on. If you don't understand something, you have to let me know.
Okay.
Okay? Because then we can repeat or rephrase the question if I ask an inartful question or it makes no sense, which it likely will at times. You just tell me, I don't understand what you're asking, okay? If you don't tell us promptly, then we'll have no choice but to presume that you did clearly hear it and understand each question I asked, and that your answer to each question is based upon your complete and full understanding. Understand? Mm-hmm. Okay. Please remember the court reporter is only able to transcribe audible responses, so if you say or she's not going to understand whether that's a yes or a no. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Please also remember that the court reporter can record the words of only one person speaking at a time, so allow for the question to fully and completely be stated before you respond. If you inadvertently are interrupted before you finish your answer, just let me know, okay? Otherwise, we'll assume your answer was complete and you had nothing further to say on the subject. At the conclusion of this session, the reporter will transcribe what's been said into booklet form. You'll have the opportunity to read that booklet, everything that's been said, and make any changes in the form or substance of the answer to any question you feel is necessary. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Please be advised that at the time of trial, you'll be questioned before the judge as to why you made such changes, and will contend at the time of trial that your memory and recollection here today are as good or better than at any time later. Do you understand that?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. That's what we will say to the judge. That what you answered here is the answer that's closest in time to when we asked you about your memory.
Yes.
Okay. Can you think of any reason why you'd be unable, Raquel, to provide me with accurate and comprehensive answers today?
No.
Okay. Have you ingested any alcoholic beverage at any time in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
What time?
Around 10 p.m.
Okay. Was that the last time or the first time in the last 24 hours?
The last time.
Okay. And what did you drink at 10 p.m.?
Red wine.
Okay. How much red wine did you have in the last 24 hours?
Half a glass.
Okay. Okay. And have you taken any medication in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
Okay. What have you taken?
Antibiotic.
Okay. And when did you take it?
About 9:30 p.m.
Okay. Any other medications, drugs, or alcohol in the last 24 hours?
No.
Great. And do you feel you're of sufficient mind to answer my questions today?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm supposed to show you a notice of a deposition marked as for identification as, do you use 1 or A? Sam?
Whatever you prefer.
Okay. I'll use 1. Do you recognize this deposition?
Yes, this is what I was served.
Okay. And when did you first see that?
Is this the first one? I don't remember the date that it was served to me.
Okay. Do you remember who you got it from?
A woman. I don't know who it was though.
Okay. Like a process server or an attorney, or you don't know who it was?
I don't know who it was.
Where were you when you received it?
At the yoga studio that I work
Okay.
at.
Okay. And you don't remember specifically when?
No.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Now, as part of my questioning today, you may give answers that refer to documents or other evidence, and I may ask you, and we can just keep a note of it, if there are things that I ask you. For instance, if you said to me in response to a question, did you receive a text at some time on a given day? And I asked you about that text. Would it be okay if I asked you to find that text and show it to me and bring it at some point?
No.
You won't show me any of the things that you...
Do you mean today?
No, it's sometime in the future. We can make arrangements to get whatever we refer to.
If it's appropriately asked for, yes.
Sure. Okay. Very
I think
good.
it depends on what you're asking for.
Right.
We'll take it on.
Again, I'm not going to know
Yeah,
as we
piece by piece
go.
basis.
Right.
Wait, I need one at a time.
I'm not going to be able to anticipate everything that may come up that Raquel may reference, but I just wanted to let you know that I may ask you to produce at some convenient point
Okay.
if you're referencing documents or evidence or that kind of
Sure, I understand.
Okay. So Raquel, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do for a living?
I am a yoga teacher.
Okay. How long have you been a yoga teacher?
About 1.5 years.
Okay. And did you work before that?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you work before that?
Objection. Relevance, counsel. What is the relevance of her prior employment to
I
this
don't
proceeding?
think, are we going to, I believe this is rather expansive in terms of the relevance of who she is. I'm just trying to get some preliminary information. You can make your record if you like. I mean, I don't want to
Okay.
prolong this.
Okay, I'll let the witness answer. Go ahead.
McKenna and Associates. It's specialty food brokerage.
Okay. And then you've now come over and you work at a yoga studio?
Studio.
And what do you do there?
I'm a teacher.
Okay, very good. And what is the name of the studio?
Earth Yoga.
Earth Yoga, okay. And what's your level of education?
As far as formal education,
Yes, going to school.
I graduated high school.
Okay,
I took community college.
okay. And how many years of community college did you
1.
complete? 1 year, okay. And how long ago was that?
13 years ago.
Okay. Okay. And you live in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay, and where do you live presently?
Downtown.
Okay, what is your address?
849 South Broadway, apartment PH1, Los Angeles 90014.
Okay, and
Coming back for a second, like we said, that's the penthouses.
Yeah.
Like that's where she currently lives. That's where she's lived now for a couple of years, and you can tell where this is already going. Like, where do you live, and how do you live there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are you doing to pay the bills? And she's like, beads and yoga.
Or Earth Food.
Yeah.
Earth Food brokerage.
I'm a life coach.
Oh my god.
I'm not knocking any of those as a trade or
No.
profession, but you're not living in,
Penthouse of the Eastern building.
Yeah, you're not living in the penthouse of the Eastern building off of that. A couple of things. I started this one. It wasn't a super chat, but where did I say? There it is. Does Rocky have the same lawyer AH had during her depot? No. Charles Harder is not present, and
Thank God.
That's a shame. Samantha Spector is.
Yeah.
Samantha Spector is here. She is just to the left, all right, of this gentleman who is in way over his head. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he is. So we'll come back to this. I just want to point that out. You can see where they're going. Also, I'm seeing people point out that you drank wine with your antibiotics. I'm not a doctor.
Not smart.
But I wouldn't recommend it.
Nope.
So anyway, we'll get
have
rolling.
to stay on them longer.
You can already tell she's got a script and she's trying to stay on it. She's very much trying to stay on it. All right, back to it. 2,500 people in here. Thanks so much for showing up, guys.
Nice.
All right,
Thank you.
onward and upward, and oh god. All right, here we go.
do you rent or own that apartment?
Neither.
Okay. You live there without paying any rent?
Correct.
And how long have you lived there, Raquel?
Just over 2 years.
So you moved into the apartment in 2014?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember which month?
I believe it was June.
Okay. And do you know someone named Amber Laura Hurd?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you known her?
About 13 years.
Okay. And does she also live at this address on Broadway?
She lives at the same address in a different apartment.
Okay. Did she give you permission to live in the apartment you live in?
Yes.
Okay. When did she give you that permission?
May of 2014.
Okay. And have you ever at any time paid her money for living there?
No.
And do you live there with anybody else, Raquel?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you live there with?
My fiance.
Okay. And what is his name?
Joshua Drew.
And what does he do?
He is a restaurant developer.
Okay. And does Amber also let him live there?
Yes.
Okay. And when did she agree to let him live there?
I don't remember.
Okay. How long has he lived there, if you recall?
Since about November of 2015.
And does Joshua Drew pay any rent?
No.
Okay. And do you have any other workspace or access to any other penthouses in that building?
Yes.
Okay. You have an office of some kind or a studio of some kind?
No.
What is it?
I have access.
You have access to the entire floor?
Yes.
Okay. And that's based on permission given by Ms. Hurd?
Yes.
Okay. And does that allow you to go anywhere you want at any time?
Yes.
And when did she give you that permission?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you have keys to every one of the penthouses on the floor?
I have one master key.
To all of the penthouses? Okay. And I understand you make jewelry. Do you make jewelry?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a place you make jewelry anywhere in that Broadway residence?
In my own residence, yes.
In your own residence? So you don't have any of your property, all of your property, am I correct, is in your residence, not anywhere else?
Correct.
Okay.
Council, can we take a brief break?
Sure.
Very brief.
I don't see why not.
Let's
Thank
go
you.
off,
Oh, me.
let's go off the record.
The time is approximately
I just need
2:43
to talk to her
p.m.
for a quick
We're
minute.
going off.
Gotta do
While
some
the-
coaching, get some
we
info.
we've already said some stuff we probably shouldn't have said.
Yep.
So
Master keys.
Yeah, master keys. Raquel had a master key, could get into any penthouse, even Isaac's, even the one that
Yep.
none of them stayed in, anytime she wanted to. And Amber was abused throughout the relationship, and Raquel never saw a thing, but she could come and go to any of the penthouses. It's going to be some interesting things to point out when she comes back. You'll see exactly. They're like, whoopsie, because they've already asked her if Amber gave her permission to live there, and she said, yeah, it's Amber's permission. Here we go. Shut up.
The time is approximately 2:45 p.m. We're back on the record.
Thank you. The witness needs to clarify an earlier answer, counsel.
In reference to the invitation to live there, the original invitation came from John Christopher Depp in May 2014.
Is that Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Okay. I've never heard him called John Christopher Depp.
John Christopher III, I think, or the second. He was the one that originally invited me, then told Amber to extend the invitation to me. Continually through the 2 years of living there, he has consistently invited me to live again and again at times when I offered to find my own place. He offered when Josh was going to move in November of 2015. We were going to get our own place together. He's insisted that we stay. He insisted that we both have master key access. So I did just want to clarify that it was not just Amber that was inviting me to live there. This was both of them together insisting that I stay for an extended period of time.
And Raquel, am I correct that your clarity about that issue came after you spoke with your attorney?
Objection. Instructing witness not to answer. It's attorney-client privilege. Don't answer the question.
Am I correct that you realized that this was the case once you went into the hallway when we just took the break?
No.
You realized that as you were answering my question?
Yes.
And is there a reason you didn't ask me to correct it at that time?
You didn't ask about Johnny Depp.
Listen to the question.
Okay. But there was no reason you didn't correct it at the time to say, when I asked you if she had given you permission to be there, you're now saying, no, it wasn't her, it was John Christopher Depp. You didn't realize that when I was asking you that the answer you were giving was in fact not correct?
I don't believe the answer was not correct.
So Amber did grant you permission to live there?
Yes.
And you've clarified by saying it was both Amber and Mr. Depp?
Yes.
Okay, so that we're clear. I just want to be clear.
Sure.
Okay. And am I correct that you and Amber have been friends since 2003, correct?
Yes.
You didn't know Mr. Depp in 2003?
No.
You didn't know Mr. Depp in 2010, correct?
No.
When did you first meet Mr. Depp?
I don't remember. Some years ago, but I don't remember when.
Okay. So your friendship, is it fair to say, was with Amber prior to coming to the residence? You were friends with Amber?
I was also friends with Johnny.
Okay. How long prior to moving in had you been friends with Johnny?
About over a year, but I don't remember exactly how long.
Okay. Is Amber your best friend?
Yes.
Okay. And you've been best friends for over a decade?
Yes.
Correct? I just want to make sure that that's true. Okay. And it would be fair to say Johnny's not your best friend?
No.
Okay. And you have a much more intimate friendship with Amber than you do Johnny, is that correct?
At this current moment, yes.
Have you ever had a more intimate or close friendship with Johnny Depp than you have Amber Depp?
Not more intimate, but equally.
Okay. So you've never been closer friends with Johnny than you have with Amber. Amber's always been your closer relationship. Is that fair to say? Okay. Raquel, we were starting to talk about your jewelry making business.
Yes.
You sell jewelry that you make?
Yes.
Okay. And you've done that for how long?
About 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. And in the 3-month period that you've made that jewelry, where do you make your jewelry?
At my desk, my kitchen.
Okay. And that's in penthouse what?
Yeah, penthouse 1.
1, okay. Do you make your jewelry in any of the other residences or penthouses in the building?
No.
Okay. And do you have any of your beads or equipment in any of the other residences or buildings?
Objection, relevance.
It's directly relevant to representations made in the declarations, and this is a family law case. I think it's all relevant.
Counsel, I'm not instructing her not to answer. I was just inserting an objection.
That's fine. Make your record.
Can you repeat the question?
Do you make your jewelry in any of the other residences? You described primarily making your jewelry in the penthouse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Do you utilize any of the other spaces on the floor outside of penthouse 1 to do any of your jewelry work?
Same objection. Go ahead.
Can you clarify consistency of this question? Like, are you asking if I regularly make the jewelry?
At
if
any
I
time.
ever have?
At any time, do you store beads, utilize your materials, keep your materials, access your materials in any of the other spaces other than penthouse 1?
I have photographed my materials in penthouse 5.
Okay, okay, very good. But don't keep any materials anywhere else? Okay, okay. Raquel, I want to ask you about some events that are alleged to have occurred. And I want to walk you through, because you have filed a declaration, I want to ask you some questions about what you know, what you saw, what you observed, what your understanding is.
Okay.
Okay, and I want to draw your attention to a date, April 21st, 2016, which was a birthday party, a dinner party that I understand April was throwing for herself. Do you recall that?
Amber?
I'm sorry, Amber.
Yes.
Yes. And Amber, could you tell me how that party came together? What was the purpose of the party as far as you knew?
For her birthday.
Okay. And were you involved in the planning of that event?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us how you were involved.
I decorated the apartment.
Okay. And were you involved in supplying any of the food for the party?
No.
Okay. Who was, to your knowledge, supplying the food?
Objection,
Josh.
speculation. Go ahead.
Joshua, my
Okay.
fiance.
Okay. And was he cooking the food?
Yes.
Okay. And how many people were invited to this party,
Objection, speculation. Go ahead.
if you know?
About 12?
Okay. And do you know who those folks were?
Yes.
Okay. Who were those folks?
Christy Sexton, Brandon McCullough.
Okay, let me slow you down just a second. Do you know how Christy spells her name?
With a K.
Okay. Is it an I-E at the end or a Y or?
Y.
Okay. Okay. The second person?
Brandon McCullough.
Okay.
Amanda DeCadenet. Whitney Hurd.
And I'm correct, that's Amber's sister?
Correct.
Okay.
Whitney's boyfriend, Nick.
Do you know Nick's last name?
Nope.
Okay. But this Nick person is Whitney's boyfriend?
He was at the time.
He's no longer her boyfriend?
I don't know.
When you say he was at the time, do you have some understanding they're not still together?
I just don't know if they're still together.
Okay. Do you have some reason to believe they're not still together?
No.
Okay. Who else?
Melanie Iglesias.
Is she a makeup artist?
Yes.
Is she a makeup artist for Amber?
Yes.
Okay.
Her husband, Steve.
Do you know his last name?
No.
Okay. Who else?
Iggy. I know his last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it or spell it.
What if you had to say his last name, what would your best guess be?
I truly don't remember. It's a very foreign name.
Okay. And these are all friends of Amber's, I presume, if they're attending her birthday party?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have knowledge of how Amber knows Christy? Is she
her acting coach?
Okay. And Brandon is her
friend.
Okay. What does Brandon do?
Objection, speculation. Go ahead.
I believe he's a musician.
Okay. And Amanda?
Friend.
Okay. And Iggy, how about Iggy?
He's a professor.
Of?
Theology.
Okay. Do you know where?
No.
Okay. And what time did you gather for this event?
I believe it was 8 o'clock, around then.
Okay. And had Josh prepared, Josh was cooking?
Yes.
And he prepared the food in Amber's place or somewhere else?
In our apartment, PH1.
Okay. And then brought the food down?
To PH5.
Okay. And everybody arrived at 8?
Roughly around then.
Okay.
I'd like to also say that Johnny was invited to the party.
You'd like to say that?
Yeah, I'd like to add that he was another guest.
But he was not any of the people you described as being there?
He was not there.
Okay. And was there any other person that you'd like to describe that was invited that wasn't there?
No.
Okay. And is that because there wasn't any other person invited that wasn't there?
Objection,
to your knowledge?
speculation. Go ahead.
There may have been people that were invited that couldn't come, but I don't know who they were.
Okay. And all of these people gathered in PH5, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And to the best of your recollection, they arrived at 8 o'clock?
Correct.
Okay. Was it your understanding that Johnny had declined to come to the party?
It was my understanding that he had agreed to come to the party on time.
So you were expecting him right at 8?
Yes.
And you had been told that he had agreed to come as you say, on time by who?
By Amber.
Okay. And Amber told you this when?
I don't remember.
Okay, was it before the party?
Yes.
Okay. At some point before the party, you're saying you and Amber had a conversation where she said to you, I've invited Johnny and he's agreed to come on time.
No.
Okay, tell me exactly what was said, because I'm hearing you and I'm repeating it and I don't think
I've invited Johnny. He knows it starts at 8.
Okay. So there was nothing about any promise to come on time?
No.
Okay, okay. And the party began, you all had dinner, correct? And alcohol was served, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And during the course of the dinner, were you interacting with Amber?
Yes.
Okay. And she was, am I correct, she was drinking alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. How much alcohol did you observe her to drink?
I don't remember.
What, did you observe her to drink a glass of wine?
Yes.
Okay. Did you observe her over the course of the evening have more than a glass of wine?
Maybe.
Is there an amount of wine at a social occasion that you are used to seeing Amber drink?
No.
Did she drink wine throughout the course of the evening?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with how long you were at the penthouse for the dinner party.
Okay.
How many hours were you at the dinner party?
2.
Okay. So you were there from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock?
Roughly.
Okay.
Give or take another half hour.
Okay. And did you see her drinking wine throughout that period you were at the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And am I correct, there was no point at which you saw her stop drinking necessarily, or say, I'm not going to have any more alcohol? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see her or understand that she'd taken any drugs that evening?
No.
Okay. As her best friend, are you aware of the drugs she takes?
Yes.
Okay. And am I correct, she takes an amphetamine called Provigil?
Maybe.
Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
And are you familiar with her taking it?
I'm familiar with her having taken it in the past, but I can't say to what her prescription is right now or her intake is right now.
Did you have any reason to believe she had stopped taking it at any point in time?
No.
Okay. Were there any other drugs you believe she was taking that evening?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen her take drugs?
Yes.
Okay. On how many occasions?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does a vitamin count as a drug?
Yes, but let me be clear. I'm talking about things like ecstasy, cocaine, marijuana, contraband drugs, or benzodiazepines, or opioids. Do you know what those are?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen Amber take those drugs?
Which drugs specifically?
Any of those drugs?
Any of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which of those drugs have you seen her take?
Ecstasy.
Okay. Okay. Was Amber taking ecstasy on her birthday that evening?
No.
Okay. When was the closest time before that evening that you'd seen Amber take ecstasy?
Years.
Years before. How many years before?
I don't remember.
Okay. Have you been aware of Amber taking ecstasy since April 21 to today's date?
No.
Okay. So
couple few whatever things to go over. Okay. One, because I see a lot of people pointing it out in the chat, Johnny got invited to his own penthouse for a party he paid for. And basically Raquel at this point is just trying to make sure, hey, we're supposed to be talking about Johnny, like Johnny, the jerk here,
Always
like
the problem, right?
always the problem. So she made sure to throw in there. She's like, well, Johnny was supposed to be there.
Right.
Johnny was, and did she say he promised to be there on time? No, but she said he knows it starts at 8. I imagine Amber did say something like that. He knows it starts at 8.
For sure. But we have the text from the trial between him and Amber. First of all, she knows damn well where he is and what he's doing. And he's constantly updating her about, sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I'm late. He's finding out that he's been fleeced for hundreds of millions of dollars. The meeting's going late.
Yeah. And she knew beforehand. He told her earlier in the day.
Yes.
And is keeping her updated on everything going on and how late he's going to be and everything like that. And he's very apologetic in his text messages.
It's a running line of like 10 messages.
Yeah, you can find them. They're out there. It's pretty sorry that you're already finding out that she wasn't letting Raquel know. You'll discover later on they'll bounce back and forth that Raquel doesn't know at the time of the party. Raquel didn't know. Amber wasn't letting people know that Johnny was at an important meeting. She wanted people to think that Johnny, she told other people that Johnny was, she told Christy Sexton that Johnny was upstairs sulking because they had an argument.
Yeah.
And that they kept going back and forth. This is when we speculate that she was going upstairs because she said Johnny kept leaving every 15 minutes after he got there. But how could he leave every 15 minutes if he got there when everyone was leaving and the party was ending? You kept leaving because Christy Sexton said that Amber and Whitney or Raquel or a number of them would go upstairs to convince Johnny to come downstairs. And that's when Amber was saying Johnny was leaving the party actually to go do cocaine in the bathroom. When you could speculate that they were actually using Johnny, who wasn't even upstairs, as an excuse for them to leave because Amber's nurse was there. Amber's nurse, Erin Borum, her sobriety nurse, was there, and who Amber did self-report to having an addiction to cocaine that she struggled to kick. So all of that happening at this point. And Johnny invited to the party because we have to make Johnny look like a jerk. We look like a bunch of jerks and freeloaders right now. So we need to make sure that everyone's aware that, hey, Johnny's a jerk for not showing up on time. And couldn't be further from the truth. Right. What else? Let me go through a few things real quick while we're kind of stuck here because I've let some of these set for long enough. It's Jen Rice. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Marta. Hi, Marta. Thank you so much. Hi, Brian and Jax. We've been missing you. We've missed y'all too. Thank you for all the hard work you put into this case. You're amazing. Wish you all the best on your new journeys. Looking forward to whatever journeys come our way.
Indeed.
M4A now, welcome back. Hey, I was told 130 experts disagree with you too. So I hear, which completely proves you guys wrong. Well, it was a good run. Looking forward to your apologies. Yeah, I've got mine in the rough draft phase. Jax, you?
I would say they should definitely hold their breaths for as long as possible.
As long as possible.
That ain't, not coming.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Experts who literally say like, what makes you an expert? Well, me. I made me an expert. That's what that's basically their credentials.
Totally.
How are you an expert? Well, I've tweeted at least a dozen times about it. Anne, thank you so much, Anne. Magdalena, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Anne, thank you from a few people in Copenhagen, Denmark, interested in the truth and fairness and injustice for real victims. Stay cool, both of you. Thank you, and hello in Denmark. Thank you so much. Ghost Giant, I missed you guys. Big kiss and just had a baby yesterday. Congratulations.
Oh, congrats. That's amazing. Yay. Congratulations.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Love that.
That's some great news today. Studio, really hoping they ask her to demonstrate how big Boo is. Yeah, I don't think she gets to.
No.
Heather, thank you so much. Her mannerisms mirror Amber Heard to a degree. Yeah, there's an annoyance there. There's a very much I don't want to be here. There's a disdain for being there. I wanted to put this up there because Frank's in the chat. Frank kind of ran over some stuff from my channel during the trial. This freeloading was real. Yes, it was. Ayana, thank you for the super sticker. Ayana, share a day. Why was her depo sooner? Did Amber Heard delay her own? Yes, she did. 3 to 4 different times. Amber claimed to be at a wedding shower or something, or
London for costume fitting.
London for a costume fitting for Justice League, and she was actually still in LA.
Yeah.
So yeah, she delayed it. I think Amber was supposed to do hers a day or two sooner, and that's when she arrived and kicked and screamed and threw a fit in another room, or a week prior to her own. Yeah, she delayed it. Kat, you both are amazing. Thank you, Kat. She'll be apples. Well, I'll be darned, she will be. Thank you for the super sticker.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Carmen, thank you. Wow, Carmen, thank you so much for that, Carmen. So generous. I really appreciate everyone showing up. Wow, we have 3,600
yes, thank
people.
you very much.
3,600 people in the chat.
Awesome.
Let me grab some more real quick while we're going with this. Jax, any points to add? Any points to add at all? Oh, the drugs. So the drugs. I do want to touch on this.
Yeah.
Do vitamins count as a drug? They're not. Like, don't.
Oh my God.
Like, don't
be obtuse.
Don't be obtuse. Like, I wanted to say, just like, don't be I don't want to insult people, but don't be a moron. You know what she's asking. Vitamins don't count as a drug. Notice when she was listing every drug, when Blair was listing every drug, she's like benzodiazepines and opiates and everything else. She was like, I'm not a body language expert, but she was just like, yep, all those,
right,
all those, because Josh Drew testified that Amber would take like LSD and ecstasy and cocaine and use marijuana and everything. Like all these things she's listing, Josh Drew, Raquel's ex-husband, has already said that in general, that's what she would take. Now, how would Josh Drew, who knew Amber Heard far less time than Raquel knew Amber Heard, be more aware of Amber Heard's drug use and what she used and everything else? And Raquel going even as far as say, oh, it's been years since she took ecstasy. You all admitted to taking ecstasy at the wedding literally the year before this.
Exactly.
1 year prior to this, you were all taking ecstasy at the wedding.
Stop. We have all the texts from Amber asking for mushrooms and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you went to, and then she's like, have you known her to take any of these drugs or ecstasy since then? She literally had that bad trip since then. The next day, like the next weekend or that following weekend, at Coachella. Like, so you're aware of times that she's taken all these drugs, and you're like, oh,
it's been the next day.
It's been years. She's been just drinking orange juice and popping Flintstones the rest of the time. Like, come on, like, God.
God.
Just really dated myself.
I love it.
All
we're in the same boat.
We'll get going back with that. But she's sitting there like, yep, those drugs. Also, when she says ecstasy, if y'all want to rewind this back and watch it, she says ecstasy as if she's about to list drugs. She's like ecstasy. And then Blair's like writing that down. She's like, I'll wait until you're finished. And then Blair starts asking ecstasy questions. But she's like, well, ecstasy and other stuff. But she says it as if she's about to start a list. And Blair kind of cuts her off and writes it and everything else. All right. Points made.
Off we go.
So if someone else said they were with you when Amber was taking ecstasy, they would be lying?
Yes.
Okay.
Objection, misstates testimony. Go ahead.
Okay. And Raquel, at this party, was any other alcohol other than wine being consumed that you were aware of by Amber or yourself?
No.
Okay. Was it red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
Okay. And was she drinking it out of a glass?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point you all sat down for dinner?
Yes.
Correct? Do you remember what time you sat down for dinner?
Maybe around 9 o'clock.
Okay. And am I correct, the same people who arrived at the party that you described and identified were the same people who sat down for dinner?
Yes.
Okay. Had Johnny arrived at that point?
No.
Had Amber commented at all about Johnny not being there? Okay. Let's talk about that. What did Amber say to you about Johnny not being there, if anything?
She said he's not here.
Okay. And she said that one time or more than one time?
More than one time.
Okay. Was she calm or was she upset?
She was calm, but she was sad.
She was calm and sad. Would you describe her as being frustrated?
No.
She wasn't frustrated. She wasn't upset. She was calm and sad.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you hear her speaking to anyone else at the party about her being sad about Johnny not being there?
Objection, hearsay. Go ahead, you can answer.
No.
You didn't hear her comment to anyone else at the party?
No.
Did she take you aside when she told you she was sad?
No.
How did she
She
tell you?
never told me that she was sad.
Okay. Let me be clear. I want to know, and I'm just looking for the truth.
Sure.
Any expression Amber made during the course of the dinner about Johnny not being there, did you hear her say anything?
No.
You didn't hear her say anything at all?
Other than when she said he's not here.
Okay. And she said that to you, and she said that on multiple occasions during the course of the dinner?
Maybe twice.
Okay. And did you respond to her?
I held her hand.
You held her hand. Okay. So she said, he's not here. You held her hand, and that was the full extent of the conversation?
Yes.
And were you aware of her doing anything other than saying he's not here relative to him not being there?
No.
You weren't aware that he made any phone calls? She made any phone calls to Johnny?
Not to my
Any
knowledge.
texting?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And you weren't aware of any other reaction she had during the course of the entire dinner party to Johnny not being there, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And at some point, did Johnny arrive?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Okay. What time do you think you first noticed that Johnny had arrived?
Maybe around 10 p.m.
Okay. So had you finished up dinner?
Yes.
Okay. And everyone was still there when he
Yes.
arrived? Christy was there, Brandon was there, Amanda was there, Whitney was there, Melanie was there, Iggy was there,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they all saw Johnny?
Yes.
Okay. And Johnny could see them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when he arrived?
We made room for him at the table next to Amber.
Oh, so you were still at the table?
When he arrived, we were finishing up, clearing the plates, sitting down, still chatting.
Okay, so you were still at the table when he arrived, correct? And you say you made room for him sitting beside Amber?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you observe what happened once he sat down?
She went to get him the plate of food that she had made him set aside.
Okay. Did you have any understanding of where Johnny had been?
No.
You had no idea?
No.
Okay. Did Johnny say anything about where he'd been?
When we were leaving, yes.
What did he say?
He said I was at 80, which is one of his other homes.
Okay. Did he say what he was doing?
He said, I believe he said he was meeting with an accountant.
Okay. And when you first saw Johnny, were you sitting at the table or were you standing up?
I don't remember.
Did you have any interaction with Johnny, any exchange of words or anything like that?
When he arrived?
Yes.
Yes.
What was that interaction?
I said hello. We gave each other a kiss on the cheek and a hug.
Okay. Was it a friendly interaction?
Cordial.
Cordial. Okay. Is that, I want to be clear, is that different from friendly or the same?
Normally, our greetings are very warm and happy, and this was more cordial. We had to say hello because we were both at the dinner party. But,
had there been some
bit more.
conflict with you and Johnny?
No.
Okay. When you said we had to say hello, was there some awkwardness?
Yes.
Explain to me what the awkwardness was.
It was the awkwardness. I don't know if you are familiar with when someone shows up 2 hours late to something.
So it would be fair to say you were a little angry at Johnny for
No.
showing up late. You weren't angry at him?
No.
Okay. Was Johnny angry at you?
No.
Okay. Was Johnny nice to you?
Yes.
Okay. Was he calm?
He seemed so.
Okay. Was he yelling or screaming when he arrived? No. Okay. Was it your understanding that he'd come straight from this accountant meeting to the residence?
When he arrived, I didn't know that.
Okay. So at some point after you had a discussion about him meeting with an accountant?
As we were leaving.
I see. And when he arrived, could you describe, do you remember what he had on?
A lot of scarves.
A lot of scarves? Did he have other clothing on?
Yes.
Okay. And was he, when you first encountered him, did he appear to be listening, able to answer your questions, talking to you in a normal voice?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming he wasn't drunk or impaired in any way, to your knowledge, that was visible to you, correct?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. And you didn't smell alcohol on him or see his eyes glazed over or anything like that, correct?
I don't remember.
Would you remember if you thought he was drunk?
Well, I mean, I don't remember smelling alcohol or
Okay.
seeing eyes glazed.
Okay. And did you see over the course of, you were there with Johnny for another hour or so, is that correct?
Maybe half an hour.
Okay. At some point you left while he was still there?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about that next half hour. Did you see Amber interacting with Johnny?
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe that interaction for me?
They sat next to each other at the table when she brought over the food. I don't believe he ate any of the food. We went around the table and each told a story about Amber. He told a story that I prompted him on. Originally, he didn't want to speak.
When you say you prompted him on it, could you tell us exactly what the exchange was?
I leaned behind her chair. I was sitting to the left of her. He was sitting to the right. I leaned behind her chair and I tapped him and I asked him to tell one of my favorite stories that he tells about her.
Okay. And he agreed to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it you told him to tell?
I asked him to tell the story of when they first had a meeting.
When they first met?
I don't know if it was the first time they met, but the first time that they had a meeting for their movie.
Okay, so a business meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and what was that story?
He said that they had great conversation about books and music, and that he was very impressed with how worldly and smart she was.
Okay. And Johnny agreed to tell that story?
Yes.
Okay. And were you listening to Johnny when he was telling that story?
Yes.
And was he able to speak in full sentences?
He was able to speak in full sentences.
Okay. And I'm assuming his speech wasn't slurred or impaired in any way?
Not to my knowledge.
You were listening, correct?
Yes.
And you didn't hear his speech impaired or slurred in any way, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And he told the story as you had asked him to do?
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell a story?
Yes.
What story did you tell?
I told the story of when I first met Amber.
And what was that story?
When we were working at a retail store in 2003, and she fell down a flight of stairs
Okay.
at her job interview.
Okay. And what store were you working at in 2003?
It's called Whole Earth Provision Company
Is that in Los Angeles or somewhere else?
in Austin, Texas.
So you lived in Austin with Amber as well?
Yes.
Is that where you're from?
Yes.
Okay. How did you first meet Amber?
At the store.
Okay. You were both clerks at the store?
Yes.
Okay. And did anyone else tell a story?
Everybody told a story.
Okay. And what story did Whitney tell?
I don't remember.
Okay. What story did Iggy tell?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you'd only had a glass of wine to drink, correct?
I had more than one glass of wine.
Okay. Can you estimate at the time that the stories were told how much wine you'd had that evening?
Maybe 2 to 3 glasses.
Okay. And Melanie told a story, the makeup artist?
I believe so.
Okay. What story did she tell?
I don't remember.
Okay. And Amanda told a story?
I believe so. Everybody told a story.
Okay. Do you have a memory of what she said?
No.
Okay. Nothing about what she said about your best friend?
I don't remember specifically. I believe it was something about the first time they met, I think. But I don't remember the specific story.
And was there anybody else who told you? Have a specific recollection of that evening, correct?
Yes.
And those events are fresh in your mind as you sit here today, right?
Yes.
Crystal clear?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't remember any of the other stories, is that fair to say?
I remember Brandon's story.
Okay, what did Brandon say?
Brandon's story was about when they were on his motorcycle and they got pulled over, and the cop that was pulling them over saw Amber and instead of giving him a ticket asked for her autograph and let them go.
I see. Okay. Raquel, did you have an opportunity to?
Okay, now that we have appropriately cringed.
Another stair story. Imagine
another stair story when she
Amber
fell down
the stairs.
Fell down a flight of stairs when we were in Austin. Isn't it funny, Raquel? She remembers exactly how she met Amber Heard, and everyone has to go around this table and tell this story about how your favorite Amber story, like,
right?
But it's pretty much the day you met Amber because that's the day that your life actually began, sort of thing. So, so everyone's going around and telling their favorite Amber story, which is just cringy. I get like toasting someone at a birthday. I
yeah,
totally
of course.
get that. I don't want to take away from that, but it's like we all had to go around and they had to like poke and prod Johnny for his story. It's funny she remembers meeting Amber, but she doesn't remember meeting Johnny like a year and a half prior. I don't even remember what that was like.
Yeah.
Name one person who's met Johnny Depp who doesn't remember what that's like.
Right.
Everyone that I've ever known, like, tell a story about how they met him, can like tell you exactly what it was like. I mean, there's a million stories out there of people who have met him and
yeah,
they remember it. It's like, it's Johnny Depp still, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty special experience to most people, so it's something that you retain in your memory.
I would think you'd remember that, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She remembers meeting Amber because she fell down a flight of stairs when they were in their teens in Austin. So yes, it's this. Yeah, did Kate Moss do it? Did Johnny do it? Whitney do it? Who knows? Right. The awkward. I don't know if you're familiar with how that type of meeting, that type of awkward when someone shows up 2 hours late. I think no one would care. They'd be like, "Hey, welcome." Yeah,
no, you're just like, "Hey, all right, you're here."
It's just, cheers. Hey, you're here. Right. You know what is funny? And this is something I had noticed before all this when I was like watching these on repeat so many times, and I was making my April video that I never released. Amber said I was sitting next to an empty chair, like this lonely empty chair, this lonely empty seat the entire night. But Raquel says when Johnny got there, they had to make room for him.
Exactly.
I mean, Amber has to paint this like pitiful picture of there was this empty seat and like this violin playing, just over it the entire time. But in reality, you made room for Johnny when he arrived. It means you had to like scoot people over, move people, everything like that. So it's just, and Raquel's telling a bit more of the truth here when it comes to that. Johnny arrived. He was there with plenty of time and everything. Let me see. I took a few notes here.
She was also talking about the story that he told, and she paints it in a far different light than several other people.
Yeah, how Johnny was impressed by how well read she was in the books and everything else. Everything she had basically studied about him to get him.
Totally.
If you believe that sort of thing, which I'm inclined to do. And
yep.
And then it's not the Amber story, which is like he told a story about my ass and the seat and everything. It's like you wouldn't remember that being part of Johnny's story, Raquel. Why wasn't that part of Johnny's story? Why was it he was actually impressed with her brain?
And she's saying it's one of her favorite stories that he tells about her.
Yeah, so why isn't that a part of it?
And other people are acting like they were mortified by this silliness.
Exactly. And it's this whole like me. And then the Brandon McCullough story. Basically, it's like Amber, talking about how she gets away with stuff.
Yep.
Like, I mean, just telling yourself a little bit more.
Exactly.
I just want to talk about that because they did touch on her getting to talk to Johnny a little bit and her not knowing and all that. Amber was annoyed, by the way. Her nurse Erin said that she was very angry and that Erin was trying to like calm her down and like just mingle with your guests and everything. Amber was very annoyed and angry that Johnny wasn't there. Raquel's going to do something I'll point it out. She slips up and lets it be known that Amber was angry when Johnny wasn't there in time. Okay. Let me go through a few of these. Ladybug again. Let's see. Kit Kat K, so glad you held off on this so we had more ammunition after that ridiculous letter. Love you both. They're both are just a bunch of liars. Yeah, honestly, I think the letter fell so flat that, I mean, yeah, this is great to be able to counter with stuff, but that letter is bunch just a disaster, I think, from a PR statement.
I really enjoyed that video that we all watched yesterday from that crisis PR lady.
Yeah, I shared it.
She really nailed it.
Yeah, I retweeted her tweet. And if you haven't, you can go to my Twitter at that Brian fella. It's recent. I don't tweet a lot, but when I find people that have good points and stuff, I'll just retweet them because other people make good points, and I'd rather just boost those. So it's a really good video. It's really short. It's really well spoken, and she's worked with Google and I think Amazon and everything. She's worked with some big companies, Apple and everything. She's worked with some really major companies in terms of PR and crisis management, and it's really good. A good take on how this letter is. I think she gave it a C, C grade. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah Lita, thank you so much for the super sticker. Liz, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you all so much. Thanks for showing up, guys. Wow, we're over 4,000 in the chat, Jax.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us on your Sunday.
Thanks for taking time out off your Sunday and then hanging out. Jill Downey, welcome back, Jill. Always good to have you. Secret McSquirrel, thank you for doing this. Yeah, thank you. Always look forward to these streams. Wish I could afford more.
It's more than enough.
It's more
everything
than enough.
that you do for everybody's streams is beyond. We should be paying you.
Seriously. So here's if you go Secret, put your Twitter in here.
Yeah.
I'll flag it up. Go to Secret's Twitter, and there's a link that you can go buy a coffee and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like the buy a coffee thing for Secret, and to show your appreciation. I'll go do it too. And because you really, really are great, Secret. And so if you
everybody streams from all the law tubers to us to my morning coffee live streams with the crew. She does mods for everybody. It's really, really awesome work.
I appreciate all the mods. I just know that Secret is in here all the time. Just like at all, Secret's the one I see at all of them. So I don't want to downgrade what everyone's doing. But if you want to show Secret some love, go to Twitter and and buy a coffee or two.
Yes.
Just Laura, thank you so much for the super sticker.
Sam
Panther. Ba-dun, da-dun, 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 thank you. Da-da-da-da-dun. Susan, thank you so much, Susan. John O'Rourke, welcome back, John. Living 6-star lifestyle, blowing thousands of dollars, which is yours. But when Johnny's late for a dinner, everyone loses their minds. Excited for what's to come in this depot. Thanks, Jackson Brian. Thank you. Very good points, John.
Thanks,
John. I mean, they're blowing his money, and he's late to penthouses that he's paying for you all to stay there. Anova, thank you so much for the super sticker. Lisa, I flagged this one just because. I'm arriving late. I have a question. At the time of the depot, was Amber and Rocky still friends? Yes, they were.
Yep.
They were still very much best friends, because at this point, this is just a few weeks after Amber sent that, let's call it what it is, an extortion letter to Johnny saying, I want this penthouse, this penthouse, this penthouse. I want them all paid for, maintenance, everything. And one of those penthouses was Rocky's. So
basically hand over the penthouses or else.
Yeah, hand them over or else. So Rocky was very much in the running to continue this lifestyle. And they were very much friends, and they were all just, blowing from the same trumpet. So Mia, 2 hours late to his own house. Oh, the whore clutches my pearls. Exactly. That's what they want you to think. All right. Cool. I'll unstar these and we'll get back to it. Thanks so much, guys.
To observe Amber and Johnny's interaction.
Photograph and let them go.
I see. Okay. Raquel, did you have an opportunity to observe Amber and Johnny's interaction while you were all still seated at the dinner?
The stories was it, and then we all were cleaning up to get up to leave.
Okay. I want to go back to before you got up to leave. How long was Johnny sitting at the table while all these stories were going on, if you recall?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Okay. And during that 20 minutes, did you observe Johnny try to talk to Amber?
No.
You didn't observe him ever try to talk to her?
He may have talked to her, but I wasn't paying specific attention to it.
Were you paying at all attention to Amber's attitude towards Johnny?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that she expressed some frustration with Johnny while you were still sitting at the table?
No.
Would it be fair to say that she at some point was observed refusing to talk to Johnny?
No.
Was she in any way expressing any words towards Johnny during the time you were sitting at the table?
No.
So she was not talking to Johnny?
Expressing, can you go back and be clear about expressing words of frustration or any words?
Speaking words to Johnny.
She spoke words to him.
Do you remember any of the words she spoke to Johnny?
No, she was speaking privately to him.
Whispering or speaking in a low voice?
In a low
voice. Could you describe? I mean, I just want to know the truth. So
sure, in a low voice to her husband, and I was also paying attention to my fiance, and so I wasn't paying attention to their level of speaking or whatever. I was also talking to other guests and my fiance that was sitting next to me.
Did you ever at any time, Raquel, see Amber turn her back to Johnny?
I did not see her turn her back to him.
Okay. And your testimony today is at no time while you were seated at the table did you ever see Amber express any frustration or anger towards Johnny?
While he was there, no.
Okay.
I'm just going to mute it for a second. I don't have to turn my camera on. That was it. While he was there, no. Did she express any frustration or anger? And Raquel says, not while he was there, which means Amber was dogging him before he got there, and she'll try to walk that back here in just a second. Carry on.
When you see Amber turn her back to Johnny?
I did not see her turn her back to him.
Okay. And your testimony today is at no time while you were seated at the table did you ever see Amber express any frustration or anger towards Johnny?
While he was there, no.
Okay. When you say while he was there, did you see her express anger and frustration sometime prior to him being there?
No.
Okay. You saw her express anger and frustration after he was there?
No.
You did not see her?
I never saw her express anger or frustration. When she had said he's not here, she seemed sad.
Okay, okay. At some point, you all got up from the table, and where did you go from the table?
We were eating on the patio of
Okay.
PH5, so we just brought the dishes and glasses inside to PH5 to start cleaning up and saying goodbye.
And everybody did that?
Yes.
Okay, including Johnny?
No.
Johnny
Actually,
stayed
no.
out on the penthouse
No,
patio?
he came inside the penthouse, but he didn't grab dishes.
I see, but he came in with everybody else?
Yes.
And Amber came in with everybody else?
Yes.
Okay. And then where did you go in the penthouse after everyone came in?
We were all just in the same large living room.
Okay. And how much longer were you in this large living room before you left?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay. So as everyone came in, you were basically saying your goodbyes?
Yes.
Okay. And did you say goodbye to Johnny?
Yes.
Okay. How did you say goodbye to Johnny?
I gave him a kiss on the cheek and said goodnight.
Okay. Was it a similar interaction that you'd had before?
Very brief, yes.
Okay. But similar to the Johnny you observed before?
Yes.
At any time during the time you were at the apartment, did you see Johnny yell at anybody?
No.
Or hear Johnny yell at anybody?
No.
Or become animated in any way?
No.
At any time you were in the apartment that evening, did you see Johnny throw anything?
No.
Smash anything?
No.
Break anything?
No.
Hit anybody?
No.
Grab anybody?
No.
When you left the apartment, did you leave alone or with Josh?
With Josh.
Okay. Had everybody else left at that point?
I believe we all walked out. Several of us maybe walked out at the same time to go. We take people to the elevator to fob them down to the parking level. So
Okay, Raquel, when you say fob them down, what does that mean?
using the key fob in the elevator to send them down to the parking level.
Okay. So at the time you were fobbing them down there was the first time you'd left the apartment since Johnny had gotten there, correct?
Correct.
And would it be fair to say that your time with Johnny in the apartment had been approximately an hour and a half?
35 minutes.
So 35 minutes. So it was only 20 minutes that you were out on the patio before spending 15 minutes in the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that 20 minutes, you got all the stories done. She brought the plate of food.
The stories had been going on since before 10 p.m., before he showed up.
Okay, how many of the stories had been told before Johnny showed up?
I don't remember.
You don't have any memory?
No,
Okay,
it was a conversation.
okay. Okay, so just so I'm clear, your testimony about what happened is that you were at the table, Johnny arrived, you made a place for him, correct?
Yes.
A food was made for him, correct? You all sat around and told stories, correct?
Yes.
Everybody was participating in the stories?
Yes.
Other people were still eating, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you then, at some point, finished the dinner party, correct?
Yes.
And brought things into the living room and spent about 15 more minutes after that socializing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point you left the penthouse and took people and fobbed them down in the elevator.
Yes.
Correct? Were you the last ones out of the apartment other than Amber and Johnny?
I think so. I think as the group left, they were left in the apartment alone.
Okay. Did you see them when you left?
Yes.
Okay. What was the last memory if you had of, did you have any conversation with Amber before you left?
Yeah, I gave her a hug and I told her that I loved her and happy birthday.
Okay. Was she happy?
Yeah.
So she'd gotten happier during the course of after Johnny arrived?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you left her, where was Johnny? Do you know where in relation to Amber Johnny was?
In the living room.
Okay. And Amber was where?
I think holding the door for us all, saying
Okay.
goodbye.
Okay.
I saw them one more time that night.
Okay, we can get to that. Before you left, am I correct that, yeah, that would be great, sparkling. Thank you. That your testimony is you had not observed Amber in any way speak to Johnny, correct?
I'm confused by that question.
Did you overhear Amber say anything to Johnny from the moment he got there until you left?
I said that she was speaking to him quietly at the dinner table while we were having the party.
But you didn't hear any words that she said?
I didn't hear what the specific words were, no.
Did you hear any words that he said?
The story that he told.
Other than the story he told about meeting Amber, did you hear any other words?
Nothing specifically until we left, and I just was saying goodbye, and I said that I was happy that he could make it.
Okay. And did he say anything back to you?
He said, I believe that's when he said, yeah, I was meeting with the accountant or an accountant at 80.
Okay. Okay. And you would describe him as calm when you left?
Yes.
Okay. And then where did you go after fobbing everybody down?
To Josh and I's apartment.
Okay. And you all, did you have to take any plates back? Was there anything to take back?
No, we left it in PH5.
Okay. Was there somebody else that was going to clean it up?
The next day, the housekeepers were going to come clean.
So your expectation was housekeepers
Yes.
that worked for them were going to clean?
Yes.
Okay. And you did what when you got back to your the place where you're staying?
I probably let the dog out, took out
Okay.
the trash.
Okay. When you say you probably let the dog out, did you take the dog out?
I certainly hope so.
Okay. Do you have any memory of what you did when you got back to the penthouse?
Let Rosie out to go potty and took the trash out.
Okay.
I know I took the trash out.
What do you do when you let Rosie out? Do you go with her?
I let her out on the back patio
Okay. The back patio of the penthouse?
yes, PH1.
Okay. Is there some kind of dog park or dog place out there?
She has a little potty tray.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you said you did something else when you got back to
Took
the
out the
apartment?
trash.
Okay. And is the trash upstairs or downstairs?
There's a trash chute upstairs.
Okay. Okay. And what did you do next?
That's when we got water and went upstairs and went to bed.
Okay. Okay. You went to bed and you woke up in the next morning. Now, am I correct that there had been a big trip planned?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that trip.
Okay.
What was the trip that had been planned?
We were going to Coachella for Amber's birthday.
Okay. And when you say we, who is we?
Me, Melanie
Okay, that's Melanie Iglesias.
Iglesias, yes.
Okay.
Amanda,
And that's Amanda DeCadenet.
yes.
Okay.
Whitney,
And that's Whitney Hurd, Amber's sister.
yes.
Okay.
Io Tillett Wright,
Okay. Io Tillett is who?
our friend,
When you say our friend, you mean Amber and you?
yes.
Okay. How long have you and Amber known Io?
I don't know how long Amber's known her. I've known her for a few years.
Okay. And
I
she
would,
didn't.
hold on one second. When I said that I did see Amber and Johnny one more time before that, I do want to say that I saw, when I took out the trash, that's what I was leading to. I saw them going from where they keep their wine to the other apartment in the hallway. And we said goodbye to them one more time.
Okay, we'll get to that.
I just
won't-
didn't know if we were
Yeah.
leaving that night
No
already,
worries.
and I know
No
that
worries.
it's an important detail. So.
Why do you think it's an important detail?
Because everything's an important detail.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you agree because I
Yeah.
think everything's an important
I
detail.
want to be
too.
truthful, and you want the truth, and
Exactly.
I don't want it to ever,
Exactly.
I'm not omitting anything.
So let's stick with Io for a second.
Okay.
Why wasn't she at the Amber's birthday party?
Objection, speculation. Go ahead.
Well, was she at Amber's birthday party?
No.
She wasn't one of the names you described, right?
At the dinner party, no.
Yes. And she didn't attend the birthday party, correct?
She attended Coachella.
Right, but she didn't attend the birthday party.
The dinner party, no.
Okay. Was she invited to the dinner party?
No.
Amber didn't want her there, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, Amber did want her there, but she, her and Johnny had, Johnny didn't want Io around.
Do you know why?
I believe that he was upset for an Instagram post in which his daughter Lily Rose was included on Io's Instagram a few months before.
Okay. And was it your belief that he had indicated she wasn't welcome there for some reason?
I believe that he didn't want her around when he was around.
So it's fair to say your understanding was they'd had a falling out.
Yes.
Okay. And they were not friends.
Objection, speculation. Go
To
ahead.
To your knowledge.
To my knowledge, not at the point of Amber's birthday, they were not friends.
Okay. As of April 21st.
Correct.
Okay. And therefore she was not included in the birthday party at the residence, correct? Okay. Now, let's go back because I know you believe it's important and I want all the details, which is great. You mentioned that when you were letting out the dog, you saw Amber and Johnny?
When I took out the trash.
When you took out the trash, okay. Do you have any idea what time it was when you took out the trash?
Maybe sometime around 11, 10:45 to 11.
Okay. And how long had you been back in the apartment that you share with Josh before you took out the trash?
15 minutes, maybe?
15 minutes.
Around?
A short time, is that
A
fair
short
to say?
time.
Okay. So can you tell us, Raquel, what happened?
I saw them in the hallway. They were coming from where they keep their wine refrigerator.
Okay, where do they keep their wine refrigerator?
In an annex of PH5.
Okay. When you say annex, can you give me some insight into?
It's a storage room that is off the main part of the apartment, off the patio.
Okay.
It's just it's a storage room.
Okay. And what did you see, Raquel?
I saw them, they had gone to go get wine, and then they were going back into their apartment, PH3.
Okay. And the storage unit that you're referring to, is that near the entrance where the elevator is?
Yes.
Okay. And you have to walk by there to get to the pool area, the
To the
patio?
trash.
To the trash area. That's near the elevator?
Yes.
Okay. And you saw them walking from penthouse 5 to this secondary unit, correct?
No, I saw them walking from the secondary unit into their main unit. They have to pass by my door.
So they were
the
walking
front door.
back?
Yes.
Correct, okay. What did you see when you saw them?
They seemed happy.
Okay. When you say they seemed happy, could you describe why you say that?
They were holding hands,
Okay,
and she was laughing,
okay.
and then and we said goodbye to them again, and good night, goodbye, happy birthday, and then they went into their apartment, and we went into our apartment.
So Josh was also with you?
When he heard me talking to them in the hallway, he opened up the door to say goodnight as well.
Okay, so Josh was with you when you were talking to them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay. And at this point, did John's demeanor seem similar to his demeanor before?
It seemed happier.
Happier? Was he still calm?
Yes.
Okay. But more relaxed, is that fair to say?
Yes.
And he was the same state in terms of being able to talk to you and didn't seem like he was falling down or impaired or anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. Can we have one moment? I just want to, okay, and we'll take a break for council, for bathroom and for me.
3:36 p.m.
Thank
We're going
you,
out.
sorry.
Hey,
And I see it
that's all she wrote.
for today.
I'm going to remove for today. Yeah, for today. Yeah, we'll be back soon with part 2. I want to roll through some things, some conversation. Touch real quick on the Secret McSquirrel thing. If you go to Secret's Twitter, you'll see or my Twitter or whatever. I retweeted it, and the PayPal's causing some issues because PayPal is not, PayPal's PayPal.
Yep.
And but there is an Amazon, like a Amazon wish list type thing if you want to help her out and get her some things that she needs and her birdies and all that. Be greatly appreciated. Hard working mod, one of the hardest working out there. So please do that. Let's see. Let's roll through some of these and have some quick conversation before we say I see you later. Kimmy Davis got here late, y'all. Hi, have a good week. Welcome back, Kimmy. Better late than never.
Thank you. You have a good week too.
Yeah, hope you have a good one. I forget that Sunday's like the end of the weekend, but the start
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
actual calendar week. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm like, we're not done with this one yet.
Oh God.
Miss Natty Lamar, thank you so much, Natty, for that. Thank you both for all your hard work. Question, Brian, there's another video you made but never released. Can you please release it, pretty please? There is.
Aren't there?
There's a couple. So there's one that's almost an hour long, and I didn't get it done before the Virginia trial. So if I release it, you would watch it with this, like it has a lot of this footage in it. It was how I planned on releasing a lot of this footage. But it's me visually breaking down this night, kind of what happened this night. And I was going to do it in 3 parts, and I didn't even finish the first part because they're each like going to be like an hour long. Anyway, the way that I'm narrating it is very much pre-Virginia trial. I could release it. I could finish it up. I've got about 20 more minutes of it to edit, which is 20 more minutes of editing is like a lot in terms of the way that I edit, because I've elevated my editing game quite a bit. So
It's always the longest part.
Yeah. So there's a lot of 3D elements to it. You actually see the penthouse in 3D and see all the players and where they are in terms of where everyone says they are. But I think it's a great breakdown, And I guess if I finish that up, I could release that part 1, and it may inspire me to go ahead and make part 2 post Virginia trial environment. But yeah, it's out there, and if people want to see it, then
just throw it down.
I guess I can get it. Just throw it down. I just finish editing and throw it down. And yeah, if they watch, they watch. If they don't, they don't. It's out there. It's work. So I got to put it out there. Jennifer King, thank you. You did this twice. I don't know if you meant to, but thank you so much for that, Jennifer. Anna Rosen, thank you so much. And NDH 818, thank you for that. I'll roll back to the regular chat. People are saying, please do it. And I totally get that. And I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm about it. I do want to finish it. It was something I had hoped to finish before the Virginia trial, and stuff happens, and work happens, and life happens, and there's a pipe under my house leaking gallons in as we speak. So anyway, when is part 2? Let's see. That's a good question.
We got holidays this week.
Correct. So we have Thanksgiving coming up, and I love you 3D. Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you.
No. Yeah, I'll be traveling this week, but not for super long. So we can do it after.
Yeah, so I could say like maybe after this week. I'll be working this week. Jax will be traveling, obviously with holiday stuff.
You got to win some more refereeing awards over there.
Yeah, right. For those who don't, you should know it because I think we did something since then. But I got like the Iron Man award for soccer. I called the most games in like a 2-month stretch than anyone else in our association. My legs.
I think we did the Coachella
letter. Yeah, we did the Coachella letter right after. So call a plumber. I would. Plumbers are pricey, and I think I can do this myself because I'm stubborn and cheap. So
nothing wrong with that.
Bobby Cat, thank you, Brian and Jax, for all the work that goes into getting the truth out. I find Raquel Pennington just as manipulative and deceptive as Amber Heard, 2 peas in a pod. I can agree. I can agree with that. Yeah. She goes about it in a different way, but it's the same turnout. All right, that does it for super chats. We'll cut everybody off.
Yep.
And say our see you laters. I'm gonna get. We got one more. Hold on.
One more sticker.
One more sticker. Thank you so much. I don't mean to cut anybody off. I'm sorry if I miss you. I know a lot of people are playing catch up, so they don't know that I'm here cutting people off. Right. But it's dark out now, and I got to get under the house before it gets too cold. Wish me luck. Godspeed and all that. This. I got this. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at that Brian fella. You're no longer at the
Nope, I'm not cute.
No, you're not the name. Oh, Jax.
Rogue Film Jax.
Rogue Film Jax.
Yep.
So it's at Rogue Film Jax on Twitter now.
Switched it up.
Doing the film thing. Yeah. So we got to work that into this. So anyway, at Rogue Film Jax, at that Brian fella on Twitter, and like, subscribe, share the video, anything you want. Turn on that notification bell so you'll hopefully get these, and we'll be letting you know we're doing Raquel's part 2 very, very soon. Once I get more of my voice back, I'm going to narrate and just the quick intros and outros for Amber's volume 4. Drop that. And, without our commentary in it. But like I said, I'm trying to nurse this a little bit. And we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us, guys. Until next time, if there is a next time, take care. And Jax, bye.
Bye.